Hello, Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, talking to you today about keeping your head in the clouds and your feet in the dirt. What I mean by that is to, on one hand, live in your big dream, in your big vision, and your big mission that is going to be accomplished in the future. But on the other hand, to be able to get you there is to live on a closer timeline where you're living in reality. Okay, so I talk a lot about having a life purpose and a mission, and that is your big dream. I had a big dream when I was 30 that I was going to be 40 and living outside of Canada doing the personal development thing, which at the time was a very unrealistic mission. I was a sales guy, I tried a few online businesses before, they didn't work. Your decade-long mission, okay, and when you get to accomplishing that mission, you of course add another decade-long one. That's your big dream. It should be unrealistic, okay? Pushing the bounds of what's possible. Like, not jump to the moon without a rocket ship, unrealistic, but like really stretching yourself. Really, like, that's possible, but that's crazy. But it's enough to get you really excited. You're like, man, I could have all these things. I could have this lifestyle. I could be doing what I want. It's enough to get you hyped up. And it's like, yeah, okay. 10 years I could do that, okay? Because a lot of people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Like, I'm looking back after having been doing this since 2012, all the stuff I learned, all the stuff I accomplished is crazy. Like, I can't believe the stuff that I've actually done, moving out here to Thailand and all the stuff I learned from my business. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 27. I'm not a technological guy, but I learned design, I learned videos, I learned writing, I learned webmastering, I learned selling products online and sales pages and graphic design. And I'm not the best at any of those things, but I learned so much just because I just kept doing it, right? Because I had this crazy unrealistic vision, and just month by month, year by year, those things just developed, okay? And I had all types of people like, man, you can't go to Thailand, you can't do personal development, it's too competitive, and bad things could happen, and oh, you're giving up income, something could happen if you start a business. And proved all those people wrong with my big unrealistic crazy vision that I said, and I put myself out there on YouTube and on my website and my whole life out there, and I talk about sex and dating and like all the realistic stuff, and my parents or my mom has seen the page, my family see the page, my friends know what I'm doing, and it just put it all out there, and it just came together. And I've got another 5 years to go before that mission deadline's there, and I know that's gonna keep coming together. And the same thing for you, the same thing for a lot of guys that I met. It's that big dream, that big vision. That's what keeps you going, that's what keeps you fired up. And you have to keep having that big blue sky dream with all the visualization, with the big whiteboard. Okay, you check my video on how to dream big with a whiteboard, and sort of like, that blue sky brainstorming vision without like negative inputs and without I can't do that, just having that nice, clean, clear, crystal blue ocean strategy, okay, as your long-term goal. Because as I said, you underestimate what you can do in a year, but you overestimate what you can do in a year, underestimate what you can do in 10 years. So having that big goal is so massive, and you'd be shocked at what you'd be able to accomplish. But, okay, that's the head in the clouds, but you also have to keep your feet in the dirt, boots on the ground, and live in reality. And by living in realities, you've got this 10-year big goal, but you break that down into yearly goals and then monthly goals, okay? And that's where it's a lot more realistic and a lot less sexy, okay? Because those are the goals you need to hit every month and every year to get that eventual 10-year, that huge payoff, that huge unreasonable payoff comes from hitting a bunch of reasonable goals every month. Even if it's just like every month I'm gonna add $100 to my income, right? $100 consistently every month. So by the end of that year, you're making $1,000 more every month, and then the next year could be adding $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. And then all of a sudden now the interest is compounding as you're reinvesting in your business, and you can add $4,000 or $5,000 a month to that income, okay? But you have to have those yearly targets, those yearly goals, down to year to month, to like, what am I doing this day to make money? What am I doing today to make money, okay? from, you know, getting more traffic to adding more upsells, cross sales, down sales, to getting more out of your current clients, to getting new clients, to getting new customers, to tweaking your sales page, to tweaking your offer, to getting higher conversion rates, to going on Facebook and Google and doing marketing, to your cold calls, to your cold emails, to your cold Facebook outreach, to all the things that you have to do. Like, what are the metrics? What does it cost to get a new client? Like, how many, you know, do I have to do 500 cold calls, 1,000 cold calls? Do I have to spend $2,000 in marketing? What does it take for me to get a new client? Or what does it take for me to do a new customer if it's a volume-based business? Like, knowing all your metrics, staying on top of that, having your yearly targets, having your monthly target, and then having like what output, what work output do I have to go to get that target, right? And so then you know what you have to do for today. Like today, for example, you could have to do 100 cold calls. You'd have to tweak a sales page. You have to tweak an offer, and doing that every day. That's what gets you to the monthly target. That's what gets you to the yearly target. And then eventually that gets you to that big, unreasonable, unrealistic goal that you set that becomes reasonable and realistic because you've just been hammering it every single day for the last 10 years. Okay, 10 years is 3,000 and I'm not even gonna, over 3,000 days of just going at it. Okay, you can accomplish a credible amount when you have those boots on the ground, feet in the dirt mentality. Okay, and pushing yourself on it. Okay, understand that if you're not growing, you're dying in your business. Life is either going up or it's going down. There is no neutral. Neutral is only illusion. It's an illusion, right? Like, you can't see it until it's too late. You were just slowly going down. You just couldn't see it. You know, if you were looking at just a month or two at a time, you could only see it in hindsight, okay? I know that if I'm neutral or I'm stalled out, that it's only a matter of time before I'm going down, because gravity will bring a flat line down, okay? Gravity is gonna bring this flat line down, right? That's what happens to neutral. You have to be going up, and if you're hitting a dip in your business, that's okay, but understand it's a problem, and understand it's like, well, how do I get back up, you know, on that, you know, hockey stick traction? How do I get back up to that higher level? How do I get to where my business is parabolic and it's shooting straight up, right? That's where you want to be. If you're not pushing yourself, you're making a mistake. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no neutral. Gravity brings a flat line down. So have real revenue targets that you really care about, yearly and monthly. You can have the big one 10 years later, but like when I was in sales, they would just kill us. They would just hover over us on every deal and every revenue target, and I hated it. But I love doing it for myself in my own business. I love creating a bit of tension for myself to be like, to push myself a little bit, because now I'm getting 100% of the income. I mean, you owe it to yourself in your own business to be able to do that. So you got to stay on top of those things, but you also can't neglect that big dream. So you have your work done for the day, but then you go back over to your whiteboard, all the realistic, you know, grinding, you know, trench warfare, boots on the ground, feet in the dirt, getting dirty work. And then you go over to your whiteboard at the end of the day, or maybe before you do your daily work, and then you just look, you know, you change your clothes, you get clean, and you just look at that like big blue sky vision. You don't interrupt your dream. You don't put negative thoughts in it. You don't put like, I can't do that. You're like, I'm gonna be there. I just have to keep hitting these metrics, you know, on my yearly and monthly targets, and still have that big dream and like revitalize yourself with that big vision of what's going to be coming in the future. So you need both. In summary, you need that head in the clouds positivity, and you need that feet in the dirt, boots on the ground reality. And that is it, my man. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section.